Where is my live? Yes, I'm live. Okay. I just saw that I was live. Topsin, how come you're just coming on? You know what? I thought I'll take a quick nap. I think my body thought I was going to bed for the night. And by the time I woke up, I was like, oh no. I almost forgot that I hadn't done my video. And you know, I cannot miss a day. I cannot. So here I am with gratitude because it is Sunday. It's Sunday somewhere. Maybe not here right now, but somewhere in the world it's still Sunday. I know because the last time zone is at 2 p.m. my time. So it's not 2 p.m. yet. I still have time. So I'm boring the time zone today because I slept. I got to find a way to come on earlier. But anyways, I hope your day is going well. Sunday is usually the day I like to spend time just in gratitude for the coming week and for all that's happening. And yes, there's a lot happening around us, a lot of good. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. I had beautiful flowers from my family. And a friend of mine asked, well, did you get flowers? I said, yes. Well, so what did you get your husband? It's like, that's a good question. I guess, honey, I owe you one. So when you're back, yes, I owe you. I owe you Valentine's gift. So I forgot to go live on this one. Having too much of a good time here. But yes, it's a wonderful day. Saturday, first day of work day for us. We're going to be heading into Ramadan season very soon. I do like Ramadan because it's a little quieter pace. I can catch up on a lot of things. But still, it's also a great opportunity to get a lot of work done because things are a little less demanding in a way. So, I hope you are enjoying your Sunday, and I want to talk about how do you deal with a weak link on your team. Now, your team could be your work team. It could also be your family team. But they're two different scenarios because on your family team, if there's a weak link, you can't just send them off like, okay, we don't need you anymore. You're bringing the family down. What you need to do if it's a family weak link, have a talk, have a conversation, and see what can be done to help the weak link. I hate to say that word, weak link in the family. But it does happen. It does happen. Now, if it's a business situation, that's slightly different because just remember, when you're working, everybody is dispensable. Never forget that. Everybody is dispensable, except the owner of the company. But there have been situations where even the owner was voted out. Remember Steve Jobs? So it's a slightly different situation if you have a weak link on your team. Training can help. There are some first steps before you take a final call. First steps is provide some training for the weak link. If that's not working, then probation may be needed. that's not working, then we really need to take a call, and we may have to let some people go. I still remember this show. This was one of these funny shows I watched as a kid. Well, not a kid, but I was younger, of course. It was a couple years ago. It was between a hiring manager and an employee. The hiring manager had just a sweet demeanor, did not know how to tell the employee that he was being fired. So I was like, how do I tell this? So he finally said, we really appreciate what you've done for us for all these years, but we're going to have to leave you. We're going to have to move away. We're just not able to keep up with you anymore. So we're moving. We're moving on. So instead of saying, we're letting you go, he said, we're moving on. I thought that was hilarious. It was really funny at the time. So this is how you deal with the weak link. Provide some guidance initially. Let them know the expectation. If they're still not meeting the standard, then what we call a trade might be in order. If there's a way to move them to a different part of the organization, that might help. And assessments, knowing a person's personalities will help to identify, are they in the right job description? Does that actually fit what they're supposed to be doing? Because our personalities matter. And sometimes we are doing things that don't match our personality. Can you imagine someone who is an introvert being the spokesperson for a company? Not saying that it can't happen, but if that's not your natural gifting, it would be a challenge. So we need to find out what comes natural to us. Sometimes you will know. And for example, even though I studied engineering, I loved math. So I studied engineering. And typical engineers are not people-oriented. They're usually very into the details, into calculations. They like to be fenced in, and they just stay by themselves most of the time. And of course, it depends on what kind of civil engineering. I did civil. So I don't fit the typical mold of who would be considered an engineer, because I'm not too much into being an introvert. I'm more of an extrovert, but I can go either way. But then, knowing what my strengths are has allowed me to pivot more into coaching, training. But then what I learned as an engineer still comes along with me. That never goes away. And so, know what your strengths are, focus on your strengths, build them up, and then you will be in what we call a flow state. Find out what your strengths are. Does it match up with what you're currently doing? And if it's not, you may want to consider finding out what's that sweet spot that I'm supposed to be doing that I can latch on to better reach my potential. And with that, let's stay in an attitude of gratitude for the rest of the week, and I will see you talking about gratitude in a week's time. But tomorrow, of course, well, it's today here already, but I will be back to talk about the next leadership lesson from Tosin. Leadership Lessons from Tosin, LLT, Leadership Lessons from Tosin. Okay, so see you soon. Thank you for calling. Bye for now. Did I just say thank you for calling? Thank you for dropping by. Someone said, I love your positivity. Yes, we have to stay positive. Positive. I've heard of something about positive toxicity or something. I don't know what that means. But yes, there's a lot we can be positive about, even when things are not looking positive. There's always something we can be positive about. So thanks for joining, and now I gotta go continue my sleep. Bye.